A 10-year-old gambling? Well, that's illegal. A 10-year-old throwing away $500 on loot boxes? Perfectly fine. Welcome to Eterspire, literally the newest MMORPG to hit the market. It's mobile first, it's on desktop, it's about to be Steam verified, and for some reason they're trying to put it on Apple TV. This game is very grindy, but the real question here today is to say, is it pay to win? Is the game free to play? I mean, what's going on here as far as the financial stuff, right? Do you want to play a game if you're thinking you're going to have to throw a bunch of money away to actually max level or get anywhere? I mean, I don't want to spend 20, 30 hours in a game all the way to find out that this game is a scam and just trying to take my money, which a lot of mobile games are. So this is a video essentially to answer that exact question. Now, there are two ways that you could spend money in this game. One, you can become part of the Infinite Club and pay about $20 to $30, or you can just buy random cosmetics on the store. The Infinite Club is what I went with. I paid $30 to get access to all the benefits for all my characters throughout, and there's one major reason for that, and that is walking around. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of walking around. And the main way to get places in this game is to either walk around, have a mount that you can't get unless you pay money on the store, or to use teleport orbs. Okay? If you look at the map, you see right here, let's say I'm at the sealed gate, and I have a fetch quest, which this game has tons of. If I'm at the sealed gate and I want to get all the way to the glowy cavern, well, guess what? I take the quest here, I have to walk all the way over here to glowy cavern, kill about 500 enemies, walk all the way back, turn in the quest, and rinse and repeat. Now, if you have a teleport orb, you can literally just click the sealed gate, click teleport, and you're immediately at the sealed gate. That's amazing, and you could keep doing that. Well, how do you get teleport orbs, you might ask? Well, they're drops from enemies. But if you're free to play, if you're not an infinite member, the drop rate is horrible. Like, it's atrocious. But if you pay for the infinite package, the teleport orbs are essentially infinite. You get them all the time, and you pretty much don't worry about it ever again. So think about that for a minute. You see how long it would take for me to just do one quest versus a pay-to-play, somebody who paid $30? Think about that. It's probably going to take a free-to-play member like 5 to 10 times longer to be able to get to max level than it is a paid member that paid the $30. Now, I don't know if you want to call that pay to win, but I would say it's pretty close. The teleport orbs alone make the entire package almost necessary if you're going to play this game any more than 5 or 10 hours. Now, besides that, the only thing we have here is the Eterspire store. Now, before I leave on from Infinite, there are some other benefits you get, like access to the Hall of Heroes Tavern, you get access to expanded inventory, you actually get 10% more experience in the game, you get exclusive titles, exclusive cloaks and gifts during seasonal events, and all sorts of other stuff. You also get access to the Fishing Guild, and you get to support the development team. Past that, you can look at the Eterspire store if you want to buy some cosmetics. The only thing in the store that's not a cosmetic, and this is to their advantage, they did good here, is the starter mount. Now, you don't really need the starter mount, though, if you have infinite, because you have pretty much infinite teleport orbs. So everything essentially becomes a cosmetic. You've got aura effects, so if you want to look like you're dying at all moments in the game, you can get the sanguine aura. If you, for some reason, want to look like a tree, you can get the spring aura, and you'll literally look at like this at all times in the game. Not sure why you'd want to do any of this. If you're wanting to have wings for some reason, well, there's lots and lots of wings. If you want to look like you know what you're doing in the game, but actually don't, you can buy armor skins, weapon skins, or shield skins. If you want a little random mob to just follow you and just look at you and not help you at all, but it's nice that you have a friend there that you can talk to. You could get a familiar for 100 crystals. There's also other fashion items like a foxtail, a shark tail. You can look like a frog. You can have, I don't know what any of this is, you can have a smaller tail, or you can add this feature to the game that every other game has, and you can pay to the privilege of having it, which is to not show your helmet whatsoever. It's probably the only thing I purchased outside of the mount, and you can have a bunch of useless titles that no one cares about. I don't want to speak ill of the development team, but nobody literally cares about these titles. Who cares? Like, no one even knows what any of this means. They just see it under your name, and they don't care at all. They just move on. Now, you can buy all of this by using crystals. Well, how do you get crystals, you say? Well, you spend money. So you spend money, and you get crystals. Then you can see how much this is. I hate that system. Why do I hate that system? Because it abstracts you from your money. I want this to tell me that it's 50 cents. I want this to say it's $1.50. But no, they don't do that. Why don't they do that? Because they don't want you to know it's $1.50. They want you to think it's an imaginary 50 crystals, because who cares about crystals? And so you're easily going to spend your money. Same thing with the loot boxes. Loot boxes bring in probability. You have a 0 or a 1, let's say out of 57, chance of getting one of these random skins if you only pay 100 crystals. You do the math, that's probably going to cost you anywhere from $50 to $100 to guarantee that you're going to get the skin that nobody cares about. I mean, loot boxes are an absolute scam. But, to be honest, they're not. This isn't Eterspire. Everyone knows that this is happening in every single game. And the game cannot be, it can't be just completely free. They have 15 to 20 developers on staff, okay, that have to be paid for. And is it their fault that they're doing this model, that they're essentially abstracting the currencies and putting probability tables? They're not the first game to come up with these systems, and they're not going to be the last to use them. They just know that they're profitable and they work, and we fall for them because we're not willing to pay for the game. Imagine with me if you saw this game for a second and I told you that it was $20 or $5 a month. Would you pay for it? No, you wouldn't. You'd say that's ridiculous. There's so many other games that are free. But the developers have to pay. They have to pay their families. They have to eat. They're not our slaves. So they have to come up with these schemy ways to get us to give up our money because we won't give it up freely for the hard work they've put in. Personally, I'd rather the game just be $20 flat and we'd be done. Or maybe $5 a month to just support updates and be done. But most people won't do that. And because they won't do that, they have to have these systems. So we can complain about these systems all day long, but they didn't invent these systems. We essentially invented these systems by not being willing to pay for the game itself. I actually saw in a dev blog by some of the owners of the company. I think it was the main person that owns it. I think that started the company, and he said it himself. He said, I'd much rather get rid of all of these things in the cosmetic store. I don't want to have all of this. I don't want to do any of this, but it's the only way to pay the bills. He'd rather people just pay $10 a month and they could continue to focus on content and updates, but they have to pay the bills somehow. So if we were willing to pay for those things, then, we wouldn't have to have those things. And a good way to start is probably, if you're going to play this game any reasonable amount of time, to join the Infinite Club. Do yourself a favor, stop walking around, teleport with the rest of us, and support the developers. If you think this game is pay to win, I'm sorry. You should go play something else because there isn't really much out there that is honest as this one. I would not call this pay to win by any means. I think this is a fair game that's been swept up in a system that is bad to begin with. They did not make these systems. We essentially invented them by not willing to pay for the systems themselves, paying for the games. I think it's a good game. It's fun, and I would recommend giving it a try and supporting this small Argentina development company. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think that the teleport orbs being essentially required is pay to win. If you think this game looks fun, let me know what you think if you've played it before. And until next time, I'm going to continue trying to kill these glimmer specks so I can get a little familiar. All right, see ya.